like a Hellcat.
So the last Covenant weapon, or non-human weapon I should say, we're going to talk about in this video is the Stalker Rifle. Now, I don't really have enough issues with some of the other weapons to do full videos on it. Like I would talk about the Disruptor. My only issue with the Disruptors, I feel like it just needs to do more player damage, non-shield damage and player damage, and outside of that it's fine. The Red Reticle forgiveness on the is it the shock rifle or the shot can? I don't actually remember what it's called. Why am I blanking what it's called? Shock rifle. It's called the shock rifle. It'd just be a little more forgiving. Cinder shot, projectiles just move a little faster. Heat wave. Each individual shot do a little more damage, and maybe just a decrease in damage over time, something like that. And outside of that, I don't really have a problem with any of the other weapons. I found a good sweet spot where the Needler works fine. I think it's in a good spot. The last one will be the Stock Rifle. And my biggest issue with the Stock Rifle is I feel like with Pulse Carbine, it's picking, choosing, mixing and matching different weapons in the sandbox and coming at the cost of those said weapons. This one specifically is the Carbine and the DMR, which I feel it has no right to be forcing out of the sandbox.
30 seconds remaining.
And it has a decent rate of fire. I feel like that's the max rate of fire. Yeah. So it's not too fast, but it's not too slow either. It's a fine rate of fire. It's fine damage, but the biggest problem with the Stock Rifle is the fact that it is a projectile. It is a very, very fast-moving projectile, but it is in fact a projectile. So you will miss shots just because people are too far away. And this is even further exemplified by, of course, the ping that you'll run into in games and stuff like that. And the weapons that it is very obviously forcing out of the sandbox is the Carbine and the DMR. Two weapons that I think have a very defined place in the sandbox. The DMR is your range, more controlled rate of fire, and the binary rifle, or not binary rifle, the beam rifle. The DMR is very controlled, slower rate of fire weapon that deals quite a bit of high precision damage. The Carbine is the faster rate of fire, lower damage precision weapon that fills a very similar role, though the faster rate of fire and lower damage makes it more of a mid, close to mid instead of a mid to long like the DMR. And of course the beam rifle, right? Yeah, the beam rifle is a sniper. So we're just missing a Covenant sniper. Of course, we do have the it didn't select it for me. Of course, we do have the I can't find it. There it is. We do have the skewer that kind of filled the slot of the Covenant sniper rifle, but I feel like they're just the biggest issue I have with Halo Infinite Sandbox is they tried to combine too many weapons. They tried to mash too many of the weapons together, and I think the main reason they did that is because they just didn't want to have to make that many weapons for a sandbox. They want a smaller sandbox that'd be easy for them to program. Well, program balance and keep consistent. I do think that they will add more stuff. I mean, we have seen a actual banished variant of the Carbine in the files that just didn't make it to the final game and stuff like that. I feel like my biggest issue is just it doesn't deal. It's filling the slot most perfectly of the Covenant sniper rifle, the beam rifle, but it does not do the damage that it should, and it is a projectile. It is a very, very fast-moving projectile. Like, so fast it's almost unnoticeable. But it is a projectile. Or at least in the code and in my previous tests, it is labeled as a projectile. The way I would personally fix the weapon, honestly, I personally don't think it should exist in the sandbox. I personally think it should just be a banished, skinned version of the beam rifle. banished skinned, as in the projectiles look that way and all that stuff. If they want to keep it in this lower damage range sniper rifle thing, maybe giving it a delayed damage thing, like it was one of the variants of the light rifle. I don't remember what it was called, but it had a delayed damage effect. Like you would hit, and then after a short time, it would deal damage. And I feel like that would make it definitely fit more into the banished aesthetic, where it's kind of just the flamey, explosive stuff. Just give it a slight delay after a delayed small explosion, not like an explosion, but delayed damage after impact. So it would still deal closer to the sniper rifle damage. Like maybe if you hit 2 headshots with it, it's a kill rather than 3 because of that. And then however many body shots. I just feel like that would be a better way of addressing the damage with it. Rather than just giving it outright more damage. And it could also be something that only activates if you're hitting headshots. So it will only do the extra damage if you're hitting headshots, something like that. I don't know. I just feel like it doesn't do enough damage to fill the role of the pseudo sniper that I feel like they're wanting it to be. But I also feel it comes at the cost of several weapons. Also, I don't think it should be, if it's gonna be working like this mix of the carbine and the sniper rifle, I think it should be ammo based and not energy based. I don't like the overheat. I'm fine with the overheat if it's a sniper rifle. I'm not fine with the overheat if it's gonna be this carbine sniper rifle hybrid. It just feels weird. It feels like you just have to watch your shots, because sometimes if you're not able to land headshots because you're so far away or something like that, you're gonna expend 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It takes that many body shots to kill someone. I'm pretty sure it's either 5 or 7. I don't remember. But you're basically gonna be needing to to vent your weapon by the time you kill somebody if you're not landing headshots.
Perfect.
Which kind of sucks if I'm being entirely honest. We can test it right here. Well, if I could stop accidentally hitting headshots, that'd be great. I never hit headshots in players. But yeah, so the biggest thing I would change about it is just increasing its damage a little bit, or maybe giving it some cool damage mechanic like the oh geez, I really wish I could remember what it's called, but the light rifle variant that did damage after it hit the target. I feel like that'd be a cool way of doing it. It'd be a very arcane, banished feel to the weapon too, which I think we're missing from a lot of the banished weapons. Because the banished are, oh, fire, jagged edges, increased melee, but then we have like the disruptor and the shock rifle and stuff like that. It just feels weird. And then the last thing is, if they don't want to make that change, maybe make it ammo based, but the way it seems, they're trying to make all the plasma weapons energy based, which, I mean, I understand. Outside of that, just final thoughts. I want it either pushed more in the direction of the carbine or the binary rifle. I don't want it to sit in this in-between, because in this in-between, it kind of doesn't feel like it fills the role in the sandbox properly, and it comes at the cost of 2 to 3 different weapons, which I don't like either. But oh well. What do you guys think, though? Tell me your opinions in the comment section down below. This is, of the weapons I'm going to discuss in this series, probably the one I have the least issues with, because I'm mostly fine with it. I don't use snipers anyway. I rarely use the carbine in the other games anyway, so I don't have that much of a problem of it not being familiar to me. What I do have a problem with is the fact we're getting less weapons in the sandbox, less potential weapons in the sandbox because of it. That's what I don't like. But I can get over that, but most players won't, and so I'm gonna side with them because of that. But what do you guys think? Tell me your opinions and what you would suggest we change about the weapon, or that 3 for 3 change about the weapon to make it feel better. Just let me know your opinions in the comment section down below, and I'll see you all in the next one. This is Untitled Adventure. Have a nice day. Stay safe. Peace out.